Hey there, it's BoardGameDave. So I just got back from work and the most wonderful surprise was waiting for me at the front door. This is a package filled with 3 brand new releases from Alley Cat Games. So thank you so much to the crew over there for sending me these wonderful games that I'm excited to dive into. And special thanks to Hannah, or Han Plays Games over on Instagram, who is now their social media manager. So a special shout out to her. Thank you for coordinating this and making it all happen. You should give them both a follow using the links in the description. But in the meantime, we're going to jump into these games and we're going to do a very quick unboxing, and I'll give you kind of a little bit of an overview of each one as we go. And then I'll say goodbye. So let's head to the table. We'll open this up and see what's inside. All right, let's jump right in. So my understanding is that these are all games that are coming out to retail in the US this March. So these are games you might be able to get a hold of very, very soon. So I just want to give you a kind of a sneak peek of what the components look like and what the games are all about. And we'll start with the small ones and go on to the bigger one. So here we go. Let's start with... check it out. There's all 3 of them. So Barbecubes, Tic Tac Trek, and Station to Station. So let's start with this little one here, Barbecubes. Now this is I forget what they call these, like tin box games maybe? Yes, this is the sequel to the hit game Tinder Blocks, which if you know anything about that game, you are making a fire structure, I guess, and using little tweezers to basically do some fine motor management to stack, tinder. So this is the sequel to that, and in this game, which is very, very tiny, you're going to be using your tweezers to put various meats and grill savory foods onto the grill. So very, very, very basic premise. Let's take a look here. We've got there's Tinder Blocks there. It's on the back, a bunch of other games. And then here's the rule book, which is extremely, extremely tiny. So it's just this and that. All right. So basically, all you're going to do in this game is you're going to take a card on your turn. You're going to draw it. And then you have to put that meat type onto the grill, right? Without dropping it. So in this case, I have to put a burger patty on one kind of column of the grill, right? If I do this one, I have to put a piece of steak maybe on 2 sort of, what do you call these things? The spokes or whatever of the grill. And if you drop something, right, something falls over, then you take a card. That's like a strike, 2 strikes, you're out. And there are ones that make you use your non-dominant hand if you're not ambidextrous. So let's take a look at these adorable kind of pixelated components. This is fantastic. So, poop. All right, we've got, what do we have? It looks like our grill is going to be assembled directly over this tin container like this. I assume is how it's going to go. Yeah, and then we've got all these little meats and tweezers for everybody. This is a game that plays, by the way, I should know this. How many players does it play up to? It says ages 8 and up, 3 to 15 minutes, 2 to 6 players. So there's 2 tweezers in here for you to share among the players. Whoops. I'm losing meats. All right, I'm doing terribly at this game. I am not the steadiest fingered person that I know. So we've got some nice kind of chicken wings, and we've got like a T-bone steak there, and a hot dog, and some fish if you're like a pescatarian. By the way, there is a vegetarian or vegan version of this game, which I thought was very, very thoughtful and inclusive. So you can look for that as well. We've got bacon strips there, and so on and so forth. Is that everything? And then hamburger patty, like so. So this is what you're going to be balancing delicately, carefully onto your grill. And again, it's just a simple little, motor skills game like that is the idea. So anyway, let's keep it going. That's Barbecubes. I'll put that off to the side, trying to make sure I'm not losing anything. Next, another tiny game is Tic Tac Trek. So this is also in a nice small container, perfect for taking camping or hiking or to the beach or whatever you'd like to do with it. Another super simple rule premise. Here you go. It's kind of like a tile drafting in quotes kind of game. On your turn, you're going to place a tile out onto the grid. You can try to finish your trail tic-tac-toe style by getting 3 in a row. If you do, you put your little campfire on that final space you just completed. And I believe the scoring is each empty space around your campfire scores you a point. I believe that's how it works. So there wasn't a rule book online for me to peruse for this one, so I couldn't study up, but Let's take a look here. Yes, yes. How to play. Look at this. Getting ready, how to play, and winning the game, all on 2 tiny, tiny little pages. So at the end of the game, each campfire scores 1 point for each empty space around it, including diagonally. There you go. So a little bit more detail on the back side. And then component-wise, we just have the bag where all those little tiles are going to go into, which are these guys. Now, I don't know if when you place something, you have to place it it looks like they have to make sort of groups like this, but I'm not positive. Can look into that later. If you ask me in the comments for clarification on anything, by the way, that you see today, I will happily answer you once I have more time to kind of look through the rule book and such. So anyway, so here you go. These are tiles, and as you draft them, if you're the circle player, of course, you'll do circle, X for the other player. And there's kind of woods, and I don't know what orange would be, and maybe like pastures and water in there, I think. We have some purple things. So as you make your 3 in a row, you'll put your little campfire, either circle campfire or the X campfire. And again, scoring for empty spaces around your fires. And that's it. Super, super basic premise. But lately, with, my wife is pregnant. We're expecting our first baby in 2 weeks. I've been thinking lately, small, tiny little games like this that take almost no time to play, 15 minutes, 2 players. This is perfect. This is sometimes what we need instead of like a feast for Odin or an unconscious mind or something like that. So, and then the final game, this is a little bit different from what I just was saying about those small, light, easy to play games. This is station to station. And at first I was a little hesitant to take on a big game like this, but I was very intrigued as I started looking at the game design, also to the designer, Johnny Pack, who co-designed this game, did some wonderful games like Coloma. He helped with Unconscious Mind. There's some other wonderful games that he's helped to create. So great pedigree already. And looking at the rulebook, I basically figured this is almost like a Ticket to Ride meets Splendor. It's got this sort of route building, sort of, traveling around with your trains, but also at the same time, it's got this engine building, discounting mechanism that is familiar for if you've played a game like Splendor or other engine builders like that. So the reason why this really spoke to me, and the only reason I really committed to taking this on, was because my dad is a huge, huge Splendor fan, but his favorite game, his 2 favorites are Ticket to Ride and Splendor. And I thought, if this game is not too complex, he's almost 70, and, it's something I can teach him and kind of ticks those Ticket to Ride, Splendor sort of boxes, I think he's going to be thrilled with this. So I was eagerly awaiting this delivery. So anyway, I'm blabbing on. Let's jump in here, station to station. Here we are. We've got a big rule book to take a look at. We've got lots of components in here, beautiful, lovely colors, cash tokens. I'll be using my iron clays with this. I feel like that fits the theme very nicely. There's your stations, there's the board, there's your setup. On your turn, you're only going to do several things in order. You can buy stuff at the market. You're going to travel your train to a new city. You're going to stop at the station to either complete an order token, collect a supply token, collect a railroad car token, or take the work action. You can hire crew members, and then you clean up, and that's the end of your turn. Now, moving around the board, looks like this. On your turn, by default, you can move 1 space. If you land where somebody else is, you can hop over them. And if you want to move further than 1 space, you spend a charcoal. Now, this is actually a really big board. I'm surprised that it's one of those 6 folders. Whoa! So I can't get this all in frame, but there's top, bottom of the eaves. Here's the country, Midwest and such. And then here is the west side. It's a gigantic board. Holy smokes. So there's my hand, right? This is huge. So you'll travel around, and then at each station, you're going to have these tiles where you can, again, interact, take orders, you can take resources. I better get this out of the way so I can show you some of the other things in here. You've got crew members. There's simple crew members, and then there's also more advanced level 2 crew members. And like I was saying, this is where you're going to get into that whole, special ability, passive benefits, ongoing benefits. There's immediate benefits, I think. And then, of course, kind of triggered things where if you stop at a place that gives you charcoal, for example, you get another charcoal or something like that is the basic idea. And they're all, of course, referenced in the rule book. In this case, once per turn, you can spend $2 to get an oil or a steel, it looks like. So that would be its ability. Oh my goodness. I'm doing a terrible job of opening this. All right, sorry about that. My phone just died, but at least it gave me a chance to open these cards and get them unwrapped in a more dignified and respectable manner. But like I was saying, you've got these crew members that give you these one-time per turn abilities, like paying money for resources or converting resources or giving you resources or things when you do certain tasks or visit certain locations. And then as you take those level 2 crew members, those gold ones, they're going to give you points as you do certain things. So that's what they do. And that's part of that engine building sort of Splendor-esque thing where you're triggering these different cards that give you extra bonuses. You also have these route cards, and this is very Ticket to Ride-esque, where you've got cities you want to travel to. So if you go from Chicago to Miami or vice versa, you're going to score 5 points and get some money. So you have a whole bunch of those. You'll start each game with one starting one and then a secondary one as well. And as you complete them, you take more and you can try to score those points and get the money. So that's another way to get points and money as well. Now, the tiles that are going to go on the board come from here as we punch them out. They look like this, okay? And throughout the game, you're going to move through 4 seasons, right? So you've got spring tiles, fall tiles, winter tiles, and summer tiles. And if they, let me see if I remember this correctly, if they don't get stopped at, you flip them over to the next season, right? Is how that works, I believe. So there's all these different places you can stop to either get resources, to grab contracts, right? Along the way, you're also going to get these tickets and use them for cabooses. You can spend tickets for more crew members, so on and so forth. And you'll take these rail cars and add them to your train as well. That holds resources for you. Now, everybody also has their little train car like so, okay? Your little train cars will sit up here. You're gonna add your resources right there, I believe. Money goes there, okay? And then your crew members can hang out right here, I believe, under the tickets, but I could be wrong about that. So again, any clarifications, any questions you have that I can elaborate on, please let me know in the comments. This is where your crew people will go, and then there's the cost for each one. Again, a ticket of the matching type or 2 of any ticket. And then thankfully on the back here, we have a nice general reference here, icons, index of where you can find certain things, set up, things like that. So anyway, that's Station to Station. I am very, very much looking forward to playing this game again, teaching it to my dad. I have read through the rule book, but it's been a little bit, so I'm a little rusty on the rules. I'll study up and hopefully get it played soon. Oh, and then here's a bag for the tiles. So that is Station to Station, and of course, Barbecubes and Tic Tac Trek as well. There you go. And there you have it, 3 brand new titles from Alley Cat Games coming to retail again, I believe this month, March 2025. So keep an eye out for Tic Tac Trek, Barbecubes, and Station to Station, wherever you get your board games. If you want to know more about these games, of course, go to the Alley Cat website. I'll have a link in the description, or you can follow me on Instagram. I am dying to get these games to the table, so as soon as I do, I'll be posting updates, first impressions, over on Instagram, so you can check me out over there as well. You can also, of course, check out some of my other favorite small box games by clicking this video here. My wife, we were dating back at the time, her and I did a favorite 2-player games video you can check out here. If you apparently like unboxing videos, I've got a whole playlist right there for you. And in the meantime, have a wonderful week, take care, and happy gaming. Bye.